Hello, my name is Robert Belbin. I am the chairman of the North Carver Water District and the only member of the 3-member board of the North Carver Water District. I took over on May 15th. I have a public statement here to give, but what I want to say first is after looking over the plant, I declared an emergency on May 20th, 2024 of the North Carver Water District plant. This has nothing to do with the Middleborough water being provided to the customers of the North Carver Water District. What this declaration did say is that it provides me with alternatives so I can take care of the plant while there are no other members, and also allows me to hire people to take care of the plant until I get other members in. I've talked to the Inspector General's office about 30B and what I have to do and provide 3 different resources for estimates on what needs to be done, and I've started to do that part of this emergency declaration. With that being said, I'm going to start with my presentation. Once I give my presentation, I'll be happy to provide comments from any of the public. Okay, and if anybody wants to videotape, just let me know you're going to videotape it. It is videotaped on Area 58. This is not a public meeting. This is an informational meeting due to the fact that I do not have a quorum for the North Carver Water District. Okay, I want to thank Connie Shea for being here as a town official. He's the only one right now. I hope more will show up. Okay, and here we go. I wish to thank the residents that voted for me this past election, although a small amount of write-ins for 2 different positions. I chose to represent the people of Carver on the North Carver Water District. I have no knowledge of a water plant. My knowledge of water is by checking a pH level and chlorine levels in water buffaloes when I was a medic in the military. Keeping my pool open and managing my own water filtration system, which requires maintenance twice a year, sometimes once, sometimes twice, depending on how much we use. That being said, I went in with my eyes wide open, not knowing what was ahead of me. And I could have said no. I got sworn in on May 10th. From that day, I started my education and duties as a water commissioner. I looked at the laws. I started reading past meeting minutes and watching North Carver Water District meetings. I found out what the powers of a water commission are. They are all encompassing, requiring the plant, the water lines, the meters, setting water rates, and everything related to water and running a public water supply. The North Carver Water District is a separate entity of the town of Carver. It has not been run that way, it seems like. We are governed under federal, state, and local laws. Just as important is following the Department of Environmental Protection laws of Massachusetts, and I take this seriously. I want to thank the town of Middleborough for helping us and our residents in this emergency situation, and hope to continue discussions and a resolution. Also, look forward to Middleborough with other issues coming up in the future, and possible opportunities to collaborate in some way to help them out. Some basic issues of the North Carver Water District. Reading over past meeting minutes in North Carver Water, there's a pattern of issues that keep on showing up. Lack of water pressure, need for a water tower, lack of communication between the North Carver Water District, the town of Middleborough, and their water, lack of clear direction on the plant, lack of maintenance on the plant, lack of funding for the plant, meter issues, and water quality issues, just to name a few. Some of these issues can be fixed with proper funding and oversight. Oversight, in my opinion, has been lacking. Not having a specialist representing the North Carver Water District is a big problem. There should be a water supervisor hired just to keep track of the company that's running it. None of the water commissioners were educated in how a water plant should be run. I am not a water operator. Thus, I need someone to get help for us to out of this situation. As an overview on the outside of the plant, First impression of the plant driving up is the fenced-in area for drainage. It's covered with underbrush and trees, to the point where the gateway is blocked with a tree growing in the gate. That's a fire risk. If they need water and there's water there, the fire department could use it, but there's a big tree in the way. And it's just not healthy and safe for that to be done. The fire risk around the building is immense because it has not been maintained, with small trees growing around the fencing area, and it hasn't been mowed. Okay, outside the fence, there's pieces of the siding of the plant. Outside the plant, there's siding. Why is that outside of the plant? That should be inside the plant for safety and security, so no one steals it. But that's been there for years, it looks like. Inside the fence area, there's trash, assortment of pipes, old picnic table, and empty chemical containers. All this should have been addressed by the Water Commission years ago, and recently by the Water Commissioners. Trees don't grow to 6 to 8 feet in a few days. Simply walking around the plant, anyone with common sense would ensure that this is taken care of. As you see, I'm not happy. As a taxpayer, I'm not happy. Now, as a water commissioner, I'm even more not happy. Inside the plant, as you see on this table, and you'll see it when this gets posted on Area 58, and thank you very much, Area 58, for being here and doing this, I appreciate it. You'll see these pictures of the plant that I took. There's over 100 of them that I took here. The floors are dirty and covered with iron deposits in the back. Trash was not emptied, chemical containers all over the place. Caps of those were on the floor. Mouse droppings and electrical cords on the floor. Electrical cords on the floor is a tripping hazard, and I think it's an OSHA violation. Cut electrical cords. As you see here, we have cut electrical cords. Here. Why are those out there? Why are those cut? Why were they left on the floor? There were hoses on the floor, again another tripping hazard. Supplies and parts on the floor that shouldn't be there. Outlets are not working, and exposed wires. Exposed wires in the chemical room. Why? They have tape across them, which is great, electrical tape, but why are they exposed? Not a good thing. A pH sensor in the computer are on extension cords. Why are they on extension cords? Because the outlets don't work. Why don't the outlets work? Question. Lights are not working, need bulb replacement. I'm not climbing up there to do it, it's really high. The town cops weren't cleaned. The phones don't work. I don't know if it's an outlet issue or whatnot. There's a scanner and a copier, it's not hooked up to a computer. The computer's old and it needs replacement. Tools on the ground and are rusty. Well, guess what? Any mechanic keeps their tools in good order. Gloves and paper towels all around the plant. There's pictures of them here. Oily rug on a compressor. This concerns me. Why is a water operator putting a rag around a water compressor? This compressor is now leaking. I have pictures of that. In the chemical room, chemicals splattered on the walls and caked on an outlet. Chemical bins are dirty. The safety eye wash area is dirty. There's also a chemical container in this area, so if somebody did have an eye issue or a chemical on their skin, they can't get to the water thing because there's a big container in front of it in the way. Good thing it does work, as far as I know, with the fire inspection that we had. I'll talk about that later. Okay, the empty containers, as I said, outside. Mouse droppings all over the foundation in the building. Why? Anybody could turn around and take a look at that and say that needs to be maintained. We need to do something. And it wasn't. The filing cabinet that's there, not up to date. They have 2011, 2012 documents. I actually did find today some 2021 and 2022 documents in there. But I couldn't find maintenance records of it. You would think the maintenance records would be in there. I couldn't find any. Plans of the plant, which we have one here, they were all over the place. They weren't in one consolidated place. They weren't protected. Some of them today, as the exterminator, I wanted to show him, had mouse poop on it. Mice pee. Okay, these are plants that should have been put away, but they weren't. All you had to do is put them in the file cabinet to protect them. No one did. They kept them hanging out on the sides, everywhere. All right, just not a good thing to do. I couldn't find any water reports, recent ones. I found older ones, which kind of concerned me because that's where they should be kept. Should be able to go to a file and look at it and say, these are the water reports. Inspection reports, I couldn't find a lot of them either. There are some from old ones. Repair invoices, service records of the plant. Really just lack of documentation at the facility. This is a big one. People need to be concerned about this. When you walk into a plant, there's a sign-in book. Anybody that walks in, they're supposed to sign in. All right, the water operators, when they come in, they're supposed to sign in. And everything they do, they're supposed to document in these diaries. I found the diaries that go back to 2011, when the plant opened, which taxpayers, you paid over $6 million for this plant. You would hope someone would maintain it. I'm frustrated. Well, small water systems, the last time they documented was December 1st, 2023. Have they not been in the plant? They said they were in the plant every week to flush it since it's been down, but there's no record of it. But we paid them anyways. Like I said, this is documented because I made sure I wrote, when I went in there, I wrote my name in there so no one could write in underneath and say they were there, they weren't. They still have access to the plant, they have the code box to get in. That needs to be changed. This is just what I found at the plant as being a non-water expert. I feel this is a total lack of respect for the town taxpayers, mismanagement of the plant in the North Carver Water District. The commissioners and small water systems had a duty to keep the plant in good condition. The lack of oversight has done a disservice to the residents and the taxpayers of Carver. This has been an issue for many years. I found a record dating back from 2013. It was a disciplinary record. Lack of maintenance. Again, the North Carver Water District needs an advisor, an executive director, somebody to protect our investment that hasn't been protected. All of these people here, all right, that were water commissioners, they had a responsibility to protect the water, to protect the facility, to make sure everything was being done right. And I think they failed us all. I want to read the contract between small water systems and the town. Oops. I would do it if I had the right spot. Oh, no, that's mine. All right, missing the one page I need. Okay, I'll get back to that one. Okay, bottom line here, small water systems was in charge of the plant, the maintenance of the plant. That's what they're responsible for. Clearly, these pictures show there is a lack of maintenance, and it's not just within a few days that when I took over, a few weeks. When I walked in, it was eye-opening. I asked Small Water Systems on the 17th, I asked them to give me a tour. They told me how the system runs, I asked what the issues were. They said one section has not been working in 15 years. Why? I don't know. They said they didn't get the money to have it checked out, which that falls on the commissioners. They had difficulty getting support over the years. I asked what they have been doing. They said they've been flushing the system once a week. Well, there's no documentation of that. If you ask the former water commissioners, small water systems just wouldn't do their job. What was required? Well, whose fault is that? It's the commissioners. The commissioners are responsible to make sure they're doing their job. If not, the contract allows us to get rid of them. That never happened, and this is a systemic issue. I asked the small water systems rep, what it would take to get the system running. They said the tanks need to be cleaned and the system flushed. Well, they've been working on this. Why haven't they done that? Why do we have to have somebody else come in and do it? As I said before, the computer system needs to be replaced and the software upgraded. The need for more storage, i.e. a water tower, is needed for pressure. At that point, I told them to shut it down because we didn't have an operator to operate it. That's where I turned around and decided to do the emergency declaration. The water meters at some of the North Carver Water District customers need to be replaced. The meter numbers are not accurate and increases the bills into customers. Soon, lead testing needs to be done at all these houses. Cross-connection testing needs to be done. And water testing at the plant needs to be done, and these are requirements. On April 3rd, 2024, a DEP meeting was held by the North Carver Water Commission Chairman, Elaine Weston and Greg Corbo, the attorney. And I just want to let you know about the attorney and KP Law. KP Law supposedly represents both the town, Middleborough, and the North Carver Water District. I think this is a conflict of interest, and I want that resolved. The order was discussed at a time frame to get the plant into compliance. At that point, April 3rd, they had 30 days to get an engineer. That did not happen. The North Carver Water District had 30 days to provide an emergency training agenda. That did not happen. The North Carver Water District had 60 days, which ends July 1st, to do an emergency training. It's not going to happen. This will not happen within the time allotted. The 11 issues are not that big in my opinion. Just need to be acted upon. But a meeting with the chairman, Elaine Weston, and others decided to wait until the new town administrator takes over. Waiting is not the way. When you're on a time frame, you don't wait. You take action. You need leadership to take action. This waiting was detrimental to the North Carver Water District and time wasted in not complying with the DEP order. The departure of the two members to leave the situation as is provided me with great challenges. My first order of business was to contact DEP, James McLaughlin, let him know who I am and what I'll be doing. And I've kept him informed on all the actions that I've taken up until now. This whole situation is troubling and will cost our town thousands of dollars in fines, penalties, and inactions of town officials. Poor decision to wait was wrong. Now, what have I done? Oh boy. Okay, I've been at the facility almost every day, cleaning up what I can clean up, going through the file cabinets, putting some order to what was chaos. Took out the trash, brought it up here, threw it out. Cleaned up an oil spill that was leaking from the compressor. I called the security company in for estimates to upgrade the security system. Emailed operators, which are different from a company that runs a system, individual operators from the list of DEP. I got one response that said he's not interested. I got another response that came in and looked at this plant. I emailed all the companies in the local area here, about 50 miles, and only one responded. I was told by another operator at another plant to check out another company, so I did. I sent them an email, I called them, they sent me back information, and all these operators and companies were all given the same information. They were given a draft contract, as is a draft, it needs to be checked by legal first. Also, what we want to do for a contract, which would be a three-month contract, just to comply with the DEP stuff, get that done and over with, and to get the plant running. I contacted the fire department. They came out and checked the alarm system. We have a great fire alarm system that works, so I want to thank the fire department for coming out here. He pointed out a few things when he was there that were concerning too, that I didn't even notice. I contacted the health, building, and fire to do a full inspection of this building. Again, I contacted DEP officials to let them know what I've been doing. I contacted the Inspector General's office about 30B and what I had to do. I had one operator inspect the facility and one company. The company, I provided all the pictures to them. I'm still waiting for the company to get back to me. The operator came up and he says it's just too big of a project for him, that he can't do it. So now I'm stuck with one, maybe two, that will give us proposals. I checked outlets because the outlets don't work, and they clearly don't work. I picked up the hoses and moved the cords that are tripping hazards. I reviewed old logbooks, documenting my actions in their logbook. I called and emailed the town administrator. We played phone tag. We're going to talk about the situation after this meeting. I called O&M and really didn't get a good response from them, so I came here and I told them what the issues are. I know they were there. They drove around the plant because I see the tire tracks and the overgrown grass. I called Middleborough Water and they had not returned my call. I called Middleborough Town Manager, not returned my call. Called Plimpton Town Administrator, not returned my call. Called exterminators, only one came. They came this morning to inspect it. I called 2 porta potty companies because there's no toilet there. Well, guess what? There used to be a toilet there out there. There used to be porta potties because there's a composting toilet in there that says don't use. Who took the porta potties out? Where these guys go in the bathroom when they go to work in the plant? That's concerning to me. It's a health and safety issue. Why small water systems wouldn't force this upon the town to put that out for their employees. Again, I emailed the companies a draft contract and photos. I called some law firms to represent the district, 5 of them. 2 have already reported they're not interested, others have not responded. I reviewed the DEP order numerous times just to cover myself. All right, I did find some documents they were looking for. I reviewed the emergency plan and I passed it out to all the emergency people that are here. The problem is it's not signed by an operator and it's not signed by the district. So therefore, it's really useless unless it's reviewed by an engineer and it's reviewed by an operator. And then we can actually, once that's done, then we can do trainings at the plant. I found policy and procedures for the plant. I contacted the water testing company and I asked for records for the last 3 years. I don't have them there. I contacted a water parts company for the meter replacement and I said, well, do you have the ones the same that Middleborough uses? They do. They do Middleborough's too. I've been to town hall numerous times trying to get documents here and for copying. I contacted Area 58 to be here, the town clerk, secretary. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. For this meeting, I photographed the plant. I've been there numerous times. Like every time I go there, I find something different. I found more today that are concerning. What is my opinion? From talking to the operators, I came to the system. The system can do its job. It can provide water to Carver residents. This will happen? I don't know. What I do know is I will comply with the DEP, federal, state, and local laws. I will do what I was elected to do. What we need to do, this is my top list, is hire an operator, hire an engineer, fix all the DP issues, change out water meters that need to be changed. Place needs to be cleaned drastically. The floors don't look like they've been swept or mopped in years. There's bugs all over in every corner of the place. Just caked on, rusty dirt and all over the place. It's just poor maintenance and housekeeping. Training needs to be done with the operator and emergency officials. Sorry, my mouth's getting dry now. Security system needs to be upgraded. An exterminator, I need to get 2 more quotes from them. I need to get quotes for a porta potty put in. The landscaping needs to be taken care of. And the electrician for the outlets to look at those and take care of those issues. The garage door is bent, so it allows critters to come in because you can see the light and you shouldn't be able to see that. So that needs to be fixed too. What I want to do, I want to buy a 20-foot container to put all the supplies that are in the facility and out of the facility. All the cut pipes, at the old generator, they cut the pipes out, they cut all the wires out, like that cut down, put in a container out there and allow for all the pots to be taken out. That way the place can be cleaned out right and we don't damage any of the parts that are there that are electrical or whatnot. Because it needs to be pressure washed. Buy a new desk and a secure file cabinet. and I mean secured file cabinet. We need to hire a cleaner, clean up the mice coop, and pressure wash the facility. We need to kill the grass, put rocks around the facility, fix the roadway because there are ruts, and long term is put camera system up. Long term, I think we need to convert to a green sand system. It's a green sand and chlorine-based system. The system works. It will work, but it's not compatible with Middleborough, and that's the issue that we have. Like you said, it's a good system. People say it's a good system, but unfortunately, when you're tied into Middleborough that does a chlorine-based system, it just does not mix, and that's why you get cloudiness, sediment, and everything else when you keep changing over from one to the other. Like I said, I'm not a water person. This is what they're telling me. Plan of action is the North Carver Water District has to hire their own law firm. We need to hire services for the housekeeping of the plant. Hire the operator for a 3-month contract to help navigate the DEP issues, and hire a permanent to help us hire a permanent operator and fix and run the plant. He would ensure the plant is up and running, review policy procedures, emergency plans, and make sure the operation is running. And if it's not possible to be run, we need to hire a company to run the plant, all right, for at least 3 years. I say 3 years because we have to come to terms with if we're going to have an agreement with Middleborough or not. Rushing into this to a contract with Middleborough may cost us in the long run. Thank you very much for the water. I would get it from North Carver Water District, but it's shut down. Thank you. So, we need to hire a supervisor for this plant to oversee any company that comes in the future. Even on a part-time basis, to come in once a week to look at it, to make sure what they're doing right, okay? We need to protect our investment. We haven't been doing that because we didn't have a supervisor that could do that, which costs money. But guess what? It protects our investment for the long term. So, for the future, what's going to happen? I don't know. This is my thoughts, and my thoughts only, and I'm probably going to get yelled at for people for doing this, but I am going to anyways. I think the water district should be created between Carver, Middleborough, and Plimpton. We could create a small water plant to cover the existing customers of Carver with a green sand and chlorine-based system, similar to Middleborough, so they work together. When that is done, we dismantle our plant and we sell it, which is sellable, or part it out. And then once that's removed, we build another small water plant inside for future work. Again, green sand and chlorine based. That way we could use that for the North Carver Urban Renewal Plan area and increase capacity for Middleborough if they needed to go the other way. We can hope that the Urban Renewal Plan area will be revitalized, and they'll actually install a water tank which will help with pressure for us and also Middleborough if it has to go the other way. That's one. That's a long-term plan. I think that plan would cover us for the next 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, way before I'm gone. All right, this should have happened. We shouldn't have had this system in the first place. We should have looked at what Middleborough had and had something compatible. I don't know why they went with this system, if it was the cheapest or what, but it is still a good system. It's not compatible with Middleborough. One of the other options is to shut down the plant and move to Middleborough Water permanently, and that's if DEP allows it. Then our people that are on the North Carver Water District, the customers, they're going to pay for whatever they want. You have to understand, the history of that plant, of that area, is a landfill that got contaminated the water. It contaminated water because of poor decisions back then that they didn't know, all right, how bad it was going to be or what was going on, but it happened. And that contamination isn't just sitting there in one place. It's moving in different areas. Okay, so the people that are on it now and the people that are going to be hooked up on it, there's going to be more people that are going to have to be hooked up to this system, all right? And we need to know that we can protect them. I'm not that far away from the North Carver landfill. My well could get contaminated, and I'm going to need water, okay? And I don't know if Middleborough will be able to handle another 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, 200 more customers on their water lines, okay, to be built in. So I think my plan may be a long shot, but who knows? But whatever. The next one is to sell the plant to Route 44 Development. Hopefully they'll take over the bonds that we've already paid for that. All right, and that's only if DEP allows it. Or the last thing is keep the plant running and for our North Carver Water District customers. And just switch over back from Middleborough to Carver. I just want to reiterate, the Carver water system is not compatible with mineral water. Thus, the chaining over results in water discoloration, smell until flushed out of the system. Sediment gets hung up in low-lying areas. This is stuff that I found out from reading many minutes. No option is going to be cheap. We were dealt this situation because of poor decisions on the landfill many years ago. But in the recent 15 years, poor information at town meeting, checks in hand, that's always going to come up with me, checks in hand. Going with a system that's not compatible, poor oversight, poor maintenance, lack of funding, poor communication, lack of leadership, and it all cost us money and it will continue to cost us money. I look forward to having other people step up and help us get out of the situation. Become a water commissioner to make prudent decisions in the best interest of the North Carver Water District, its customers, and the residents of Carver. This is the document that Small Water Systems gave us when they said they were going to resign. This is my little notes here. Okay, but they left us. They left us, but they kept the high school, middle school, the elementary school, and the town here in the center of town. As you see these pictures here, you make your decision of should they be taking care of our children. This is the draft from the DEP that gave us 11 things to do, 11 things that could have been done, but they're not going to get done because of lack of time. We have 130 people that are on that water system and businesses, okay? We have, I think, 15 cross connections that need to be tested. These are the people that are on our water system. And I thank Middleborough, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for helping us. We need to come to a solution to this. With that being said, my frustration is when I call Middleborough, they don't respond. I put this out there on Facebook, and one of our town officials, Adam Germain, writes, Bob Belbin, Middleborough won't even talk to you. They have an agreement already in place. Good luck even getting a meeting. Well, that's interesting. Okay, that he's not on the water commissioner, he's not on the board of selectmen, he's not on a town administrator, okay, he's not in the health department. How does he know this? Well, his son is a chairman of the Middleborough Board of Selectmen.
And the water commission.
So therefore, I have concerns about this because if he knows they're not going to talk to me, well, guess what? The North Carver Water District owns those water lines. The North Carver Water District owns the plant. They have to talk to me. I just want to talk, all right? I want to make sure what is done for the best interest of the public, okay? So, sorry, I'm just trying to catch my breath here and my thought process. Did that. So, in closing right now, anybody that's here to ask questions about Middleborough water, I'm going to tell you right now, I have no answers. No one's met with me. No one's talked to me about that. Okay? I don't have any agreements. I have nothing. Quite frustrated. I'm frustrated with the prior water commissioners. I'm frustrated with small water systems. Anybody that would put a glove on top of a part in a water plant, is this what a certified water operator is supposed to do? A chemical room with chemicals, with They have bins to keep them in, but they should be cleaned. But it's not. It's not cleaned. Trash bags around the facility that have stuff in it. I haven't even looked at them. I haven't even moved these ones because I don't know what they are and what's in it. The chemical room has splatters of chemical on the wall. Two of the outlets for these are caked on white chemicals. I don't know what they are. Why? The eye wash station is there for safety precautions. When you can't get access to this because there's a barrel in the way, there's something wrong. Thanks for the water. In closing, right now, I'm just going to tell you that I'm not happy, as you can see. I will do the best I can to resolve this in this situation that we're in. I will seek guidance from our town officials, our health, our public safety people, our building inspecting. I need somebody else's help. I need 2 other people to become water commissioners to assist with this. They don't have to be water operators because I'm going to hire somebody to protect our interests here. In some way, shape, or form, I'm going to have someone to protect us. All right, that's what needs to be done. I don't have the expertise, but I'm willing to hire somebody that does to get us out of this situation. So, with that being said, thank you very much for watching this, and I'm going to open this up to questions. Yes, sir.
Connie Shea, Plymouth Street. What does the DEP say? I mean, where are they at? I know we're under emergency water through Middleborough, and I know that's through the grace of Middleborough and the DEP in regards to that. But what is the DEP saying in regards to, or are they saying anything in regards to long-term water supply?
Nothing in regards to long-term water supply, only what's in the DEP draft order. That's it. They want us to work with Middleborough, okay? It's not a quick process, okay? From what I've been told is if we have to be invited into it. Once we're invited into it, it has to still go to their town meeting, from what I was told. That'll be approved there too. Not sure if that's correct or not. Then once that's done, we can go to DEP and ask DEP if they'll approve it or not. But I'm sure DEP wants to know what the long-term plan with contamination is going to be and how we're going to handle that. That's just my impression. They want us to work on this draft consent order here to get it done as quick as possible. They have time frames. We are not going to meet those time frames, and we're going to be fined again. I think there's a $5,000 fine right now just for not complying with what was done prior because we didn't notify them in time. So I'm sure we'll get more fines for not doing anything for the 30 days or the 60 days. I've apologized up and down, but my apologies can only go so far.
Is the consent order posted anywhere?
I don't know, but I'll make sure it gets posted on the town website today so people can take a look at that.
When was it issued?
Nation. 4/3, so April 3rd. That's when the meeting between Elaine Weston, Greg Coble, and Mike Palmieri. And DEP, there were their lawyer, Sean Walsh, another lawyer, Megan Olaraz, Jim McLaughlin, and Bill Schwartz from DEP. They were at this meeting, and that was April 3rd. So I was this is April 3rd. That would be my guess.
You mentioned selling off the plant. By that, do you mean the parts or the plant? Because the plant is part of a conservation property. It was established under an act of the Senate of Massachusetts. Our town bylaws don't allow private water companies to operate in the town of Carver, Massachusetts. So Do you just mean selling off the equipment, or, I mean, as a proposal? I heard you mention a couple different things.
Correct. The plant is worth money. It's a good plant. It's, like you said, it just needs to be maintained and upkeep. We could sell it off as parts. We could sell it as a whole plant to another town or to a country. We can sell it out of the country, and here you go, here's a water plant for you somewhere. Who knows? But we spent $6 million on that. Okay, town meeting, when I went back to town meeting to look at it, in 2009 when we created the North Carver Water District, all right, then I looked to see, all right, how much we spend for this? And said it between $5 and $6 million, excuse me. And like I said, it just, that's a lot of money, and we bonded that out. And those bonds go from up to 2035 and 2040 or 45, something like that. So they go a long ways. It's not like it's we're gonna be, okay, we shut it down and we still gotta pay. So, I don't know, really. That would have to be when we get an operator in here to give us an assessment of everything, get an engineer in here, to really see this plant running and bring this plant up to running at a standard that it should be running. And the other operator, his suggestion would probably be 60, 90 days, up to 6 months, possibly, depending on what it really needs. We don't know, because, like I said, it needs to run, it needs to be flushed out. Like I said, just basic maintenance that wasn't done needs to be done first, before we tie into any water at all. If we get back on Carver water, that plant has to be running at 100% capacity to make sure, okay, it's running good, we can do this. All right, but if we can't, then we're stuck with Middleborough water. I'm sorry if I can't answer your question on it.
That's okay.
That's all I can say.
You mentioned Route 44 Development was interested in purchasing the plant?
Well, what was actually discussed was that they have had talks with North Carver Water, I guess, and also talks with the Redevelopment Authority to some extent. The town administrator actually, when we talked, he said that they were interested in helping write a grant to help our system for an engineer. I said no, I don't want them part of this at all. This is a town of Carver, North Carver Water District issue. We need to resolve this issue. Having a private entity involved in it, I think muddies the water, in my sense. Especially if they end up taking over, because, I mean, who knows what happens. The town could appoint 2 people that disagree with me, all right? They turn around and they vote to disband the North Carver Water District. I turn around and say no. They turn around and say, oh, it's a vote. It goes back to the town meeting. Town meeting says, okay, we disband it. Great, no problem, and there you go. North Carver Water District is done. It now is run by the town. Just an FYI, if I didn't take this position here, in the North Carver Water District, and the 2 members resigned, this would go back to the Board of Selectmen. And the Board of Selectmen could have voted to have them be the water commissioners for the North Carver Water District. They don't have to hire people in or appoint people to it. They could have taken it over themselves, just to give it what could have happened.
So my question is going to be, from my understanding, through talks with Mr. McLaughlin at the DEP, that they capped the North Carver water and prohibited it from entering onto the urban renewal site.
Yes, that, from what I've been told, yes, but the North Carver Water District is capped anyways, because it can't mix with Middleborough water.
Right.
So you can't go any further, okay? So until Route 44 Development has a project there and they need water, then they have to come to us.
Right, because it's, my understanding through the DEP was that for all intents and purposes, that site is a desert. It's empty of water, and that water couldn't be gotten out of it because of the contamination issues. Why wouldn't we work some sort of, we had a previous mitigation deal with Hillwood through the property, to provide them water in exchange for maintenance, upkeep, and they get their water and we get the necessary funds and the ability for a customer that can handle the water. Because otherwise we'll be severely limiting commercial growth in that particular area, that avenue. I mean, you've got, what, up all the way up past the tractor factories in Plimpton, but up to that mall there, the old Shaw's Plaza, and that whole area is slated for urban redevelopment, commercial development.
Right, as a former member of the RDM, familiar with that. With the urban renewal plan, we have to provide water to that area. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The town of Carver has to provide water to that area when they develop it. Okay, if we can't provide them water, all right, I'm afraid what Route 44 Development LLC will do. That's why this is a situation that we need to deal with. This North Carver Water District needs to deal with. I wish I had more information, but I can only give you what I know. Yes, sir.
Where is the plant located? I don't know.
So the plant is located in the middle of the coal property off of Pleasant Street.
Okay.
So if you go down Route 58 into Plimpton, where the garage is, that has all the God is great signs and everything all the time, which is great. You take a right there, that's Pleasant Street. You'll go around the sharp turn. On the right-hand side, that's the little parking area for the coal property. And you'll walk in there and just follow the road to bring you right to it. So.
It goes all the way up to Route 58 almost, correct? It runs from pretty much Route 58, Route 44, and then over towards Pleasant Street.
All right, I have no idea what you're talking about. You missed me somewhere in communication.
The whole property is very extensive.
Oh yeah, it's a huge property. It's actually set up in two different Lot A and Lot B, if I remember correctly. So it's different lots. It's a huge property. People use it for walking their dogs, hiking. I met a bunch of women that were going hiking. The Boy Scouts have done numerous projects there. My son's done projects out there. The Boy Scouts put up a new suspension bridge out there too. I mean, it's a great property. Anybody in this town, it's a great access to go out there and walk around. I wish dog walkers would pick up their dog poop and not leave their bags around. It's also a dumping ground for people too. When I went there the first day, there was a couch by the gate. The DPW took care of that. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate that. But it's a great property. It's an asset to our town. And that's one of the other things that I have a concern of. Being in a conservation area, and if we give this well system up and this plant to Route 40, that's a private entity inside a conservation area. I have concerns with that. Okay, I really have serious concerns. So, but anyone else? I want to thank our town administrator, Glenn Cannon, for coming in today, who showed up.
Can I make one comment though?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
A lot of people, I'm in North Carver, but I'm not on the district, but a lot of people don't trust their wells anymore. They were getting water, I'll say this, at the water station. That is closed down from contamination, so we're really in a kind of quandary too.
So you're talking about water from Middleborough?
No, I'm just talking about water in general, because there used to be a water station that people would fill their bottle.
Oh, yes.
And that is contaminated
Right.
PFAS.
That has nothing to do with the
Yeah,
North
but I'm
Carver
just
Water
saying,
District.
it's-
That was, I think Sampson Springs or something like that.
Yeah,
or-
it's became.
I don't want to.
But it brings up the whole issue
Right.
where water in the area, where people really need a good resource of water for this area, and we don't have it, and you're showing us why.
Right. So, I mean, this is just the North Carver Water District. And like I said, this contamination in our water, it's not going to go away. I think it's going to get expanded and more. It's just going to grow and grow and grow. And this isn't just a small one-time, all right, let's get the quick fix in here. All right, we have to look to the future, and that's what I'm doing. I'm looking to the future. The same what I did with the Carver, Merriam, Wareham Regional Refuse Disposal District. Yeah, that's a long word. All right, when I went in there, all right, I butted heads with my own commissioners from Carver here on what I wanted to look to the future for it. Once they were gone, okay, and I became the chairman, okay, I looked for could we do for the district as a whole with our finances. We had no money coming in, but we had access to go to the transfer station, which is great. Middleborough runs it. Not Middleborough, I'm sorry, Wareham runs it. Apologize. Wareham runs it, and they do a great job. But we also had finances. We need to do something. We made the decision, all right, with me seeking help, because that's what I did. And as I always say, Tom from Plymouth County, he helped us drastically there, gave us great information and direction on what we could do. And now that district is actually gaining money because we put money in bond funds and put it in CDs, and financially we're stable now over there for the long-term future. So that's what I'm not looking at just for me, all right, here. I'm not on this system. I may be at some time because I'm not too far away. I live on Gate Street, all right. My water's good right now. My neighbor's is bad. It's a lot of sediment that he gets, and he has problems with his water system. He's even said he'd love to be on town water so he doesn't have to deal with this, okay? And I think other people are in the same position, so, yeah, sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry, I have to go.
Okay.
Glenn can't tell me, can you call me though? Once we have a meeting. I'm sorry, I didn't have enough time.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much for coming. I appreciate it. Yes, ma'am.
Mary Dormer, 162 Plymouth Street. I know that there's contamination in the water in Plymouth, in Middleborough with PFAS, and I know there are issues over at the North Carver Water District with manganese and iron, I believe.
Yes.
So I don't think it's a good idea to be pumping PFAS into people's homes, personally. I am not on the North Carver. I have refused to accept the town water. But how is that going to work if we have an agreement with Middleborough? Because they don't plan on putting up their filtration system. It won't be ready until the summer of 2025, according to them.
I'd love to give you an answer, but I don't have one because I haven't talked to them. I haven't seen any agreements from the town of Carver and Middleborough. I don't know. And see, that's kind of part of the problem here is that the disconnect. This should be driven by the North Carver Water District in Middleborough,
right,
not the town of Carver and Middleborough. That's our problem right there. My plan that I had actually addressed would address this plan if we came to a district and where it be Middleborough, Carver, and we bring Plimpton involved as a district, we can get more money in grants, all right? I'm sure that people would be happy to come in to a district that knows that we have enough people that can cover this district, all right, because water will be pumped out to a lot of different places. We'd have to change over the system. From what I heard, they're gonna put $10 million into a system over there. Well, maybe they want to talk to us and say, hey, well, maybe you have a property there that has water, okay? Maybe if we come together, it might save money in the long run. We're still going to have to pay. Carver's going to have to pay some money, okay? I'm allowed to spend up to $50,000, all right, per issue that we have for the next 3 months. That's what I've been told. Anything more is kind of pushing it, but I don't want it. 3 months, I want to get taken care of and us back on the right track. It'll help if I have another 2 members on the board that we can make decisions. I'm going to make decisions no matter what. I'm going to take care of the mice infestation. I'm going to take care of a porta potty there. I'm going to take care of an electrician to come in to take care of the electrical issues. Whenever we have someone come in, I want to make sure that this place is clean and neat, that they can take over knowing they're in a plant that's clean, safe, and healthy. All right? That's what we need. I need that before I bring anybody else into this plan. That's my goal. Everything else, and I spent a lot of time, and I'll let you know, a lot of time away from my family, my dog. My pool isn't open yet. I fixed my tractor finally and got a chance to go out there and mow my lawn, finally, and weed whack it. And I did weed whack the front of the plant just so we weren't walking into a bunch of weeds when we walked in there. But this has taken a lot of time out of me, and I understand Michael Palmieri's thing about he has a full-time job. I have a full-time job, okay? But when I swore an oath, all right, to take care of this plan, that's what I'm gonna do. If it takes time away, I'm sorry for my family, I'm sorry for my dog, I'm sorry for my house not being the way it should be. I'm sorry my neighbor had to drive through my property and I had grass growing so high. But I think what I had to do is what I did today, expose the mismanagement. Anybody could walk into this plan and see these issues and say, hey, small water systems, why is this here? Why is that here? Why is that here? I had 30 minutes with them before they walked out the door, even though their contract was till Sunday. They closed it on Friday. Okay, so, I don't know. I've taken up a lot of time from people, and I want people to have questions, and I wish I could give you all answers. Like I said, I will be talking to the town administrator at Carver, and hopefully I'll get the information I need, and the next time you see me and hear me, I have other members on the board. It's a full board meeting, and I can give an update of what I've done and where we're going to go from here.
Well, just so that you know, Bob, I
Yes.
did apply for the position
Okay.
for the North Carver Water District.
Thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate that. Like I said, so looks like we have one that's applied. I just need another one, or 2 or 3 to apply. As many. I'd like to see 10 or 20 people apply. All right, the more the better. There's plenty of opens here in this town. So thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I appreciate it. These pictures will be posted up on Area 58. Just my doctor. We don't need him.
I do have just one other question.
Yes.
Who sets the rate for the water if we're on Middleborough? Is it Middleborough?
The water rates are set by the North Carver Water District. From what I've read in their meeting minutes, is that it's our rate plus it's 1.5 times what the ratepayers are paid. All right, how much that actually is, I don't know. Like I said, all these information I'm going to get. I don't even know what my budget. I sent an email this weekend to finance to say, what do we have left in our budget? What do I have to spend? I know we spent like almost $6,000 or more to small water systems per month. When they're out of a month, I know there's $6,000 that I can spend. But we also have to hire someone, and I mean, I don't want to venture to say how much that's going to cost us. So, okay.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'm signing off. Thank you very much for watching this informational meeting on the North Carver Water District.